Let's see if this camera and this signal be good for the time. But shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, but now Yahweh. Do so in the name of His only begotten Son, of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. What's going on with you guys for the night? So, quick little update. We got a situation going on. There was a conflict with scheduling and things that Pre-Shash had going on, and the timing for us to kind of be on the same page for today has been a little off. So we just kind of gonna try to go through the spirit, still give people the content to watch and still kind of go live. But as far as the topic of the seven basic or the seven fundamental human needs, we are going to postpone that until next Sunday. Next Sunday, and then I understand brothers and sisters be looking forward to getting into those things. But if y'all could bear with us, we'd appreciate it. Because just as much as it means, something to you guys to hear it, it definitely means something for me and the brother Yash to be able to get this stuff out. Hold on, this is Chief. Let me answer this real quick. Slacky about that, man. That was my guy. That was Chief. I actually had to stop him because when me and him get into a conversation, it'll go on for days. The last thing I was saying was, if y'all could bear with us, it definitely means something to brothers to be able to teach you guys these lessons, go into these breakdowns and just be able to touch on certain topics, especially with me and brother Yash. We're very close friends, so we talk about this stuff a lot. So to be able to get on, the channel on the platform and be able to discuss these things and teach you guys these things, it means something to us. So I'm not gonna continue without the brother. We'll just have to let it wait till next week. Okay. So that's why we're gonna pretty much postpone it till next week. Tomorrow we'll still finish the Romans 9 breakdown. And to be honest, I didn't really have anything. This is like last minute, so I didn't really have anything specific to go into outside of what we've already had planned for the channel. And again, like I said, I'm not gonna go in and teach those things without my brother, especially if he just has some little, little they had to do. So it's all good. I just say, look, what y'all want to know about Cat? Put y'all questions in the in the comments. You know, kind of open. We're gonna open the book of Captain right now. Whatever you guys want to know, put it in the chat. Shalom to everybody that's in here. Also, um, depending on how tonight goes with this little Q&A, this type of thing that I will be willing or that I'm been planning to do on the critically captive page. So, for those of you who have not already, head over there, go subscribe to the channel, check out the videos, like them, comment on them, let me know what you guys think. Yeah, like I said, man, whatever questions y'all got for me, what y'all want to know, I got a lot of answers for you guys today. It depends. If it really gets good, then we'll mm, cross that bridge when we get there, see how it goes. I've been reading this book. I've been reading this book lately, man. The Art of Seduction. And when I tell you that this book is something else, boy, is it something else. It's crazy too. I don't know what it is, man. I think when the brother Yash is here, man, he's interfering with the Wi-Fi signal because everything seems pretty good right now. Everything seems pretty good. Matter of fact, somebody just said something about the exemption letter. You know anywhere I can get a religious exemption letter? Yes. Get in contact with Sicari Vice City. Ooh, let me see if I got their email. Get in contact with the brothers Sakari, the brothers over at Sakari Vice City, and they'll help you out getting the exemption letters. So yeah, Sakari Vice City 1715 at Gmail. That is where you can get your exemption letters. What is the most challenging obstacle you have faced since being in the truth? I ain't gonna lie, man. Good question. Um, brotherly love. Um, and I'm. You said the most, so and to be honest, there's really not one that is the most. I feel like um every obstacle that I've had in the truth have all been equally challenging, equally, equal level of difficulty. And I say brotherly love because not like I have a problem with loving people. No, I have a problem with um continuing or excuse me, I had a problem with continuing to extend the love the same love that I was given when things were cool. When you first come into the truth and you know we're confronted with the issue of us being unified, of us loving each other, of us, being able to work together, of us, you know, um, following the law, statutes, and commandments, and all of those things that really, make harmony amongst us. So when you come into the truth, and I'm sure a lot of people can also attest to this, when you come in, you just got this willingness and this openness to just love, like whatever it is you need, almost whatever it is you want, just let me know I got it. If I got it, I'm here to give it to you. Cool. And then a lot of times you see where brothers and even sisters aren't willing to reciprocate that same type of love, or even maybe still be stuck in their ways, maybe one foot in, one foot out, and they still might treat you like you are in the world. And it kind of compels you to go and behave the same way. It compels you to go and say, okay, well, if you want to act like that, then it's easy to become petty. It's easy to become, I'm going to treat you like you treat me, instead of vice versa. What the scripture says, I should treat you how I want you to treat me, versus, again, me matching you on your level, which is beneath the way that I'm, coming at you. So I've never had a problem with giving people love, but the most challenging thing is being confronted with having to continue to treat people the way I want them to treat me, even though they're treating me wrong, and not treating them how they treat me. So that's the first thing. Um, being able to balance, being able to balance the commitment to the truth, doing the work, studying, being about this truth, kind of staying away from certain things, like committing to the truth and balancing it with being, you know, um in the world, not of the world. So it became a challenge, because another thing, you come into this truth and you recognize just so how different the Bible requires you to be versus everyone that's around you. And it's easy to just get to a place where you just want to kind of cut yourself off from everybody, and that's just not reality. So finding a balance of, you know, how to be in the world but not of the world, how to be committed with the truth and put the truth first, but still be able to get other things done. That's number two. I'll give you guys one more. Uh, man, I think the last one, man, is just being able to thoroughly, well-roundedly apply the principles that you read about, that you learn about. Like I said, it's a lot of us, myself in particular. I came into the truth when I was 19. I wasn't even really mature in life yet, and I had to pretty much, again, simultaneously mature according to the ways of the world, again, being able to, handle certain things, being able to um balance certain things. Like growing up, like I always talk about how I'm bad with money, because I just like to spend, and budgeting is a big thing. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, for those of us who are adults and who now have to budget, we understand how serious that is. And coming into the truth at 19, and your mind just focuses directly on this truth, like the scriptures don't really give you a thorough course on, budgeting your money, saving your money, investing your money, making your money work for you, yada yada yada. Those are certain things that we come across, and skills we pick up on outside of what you're just going to read about in the Bible. The scriptures speak on it briefly. Money being a strong defense. A lot of scriptures really about money, and how it can benefit you. But then again, there's this context that the people that teach you about the truth, they shame money so much, and then you're battling between, you know, not having this love for it, but then shit, you want to buy stuff. Then, you want to. how would I say it? You want to not be caught up and to be driven and make that the priority, but then recognizing how important it is because you still got to live. You know, you want family, you got to take care of your family, you want kids and things like that. So finding a balance and being able to just apply all of the principles, man, and put yourself in a position to be this fine-tuned, wise machine. And to be honest, man, I think that that's just something that's going to be a lifelong thing. I think that that's a journey. That's not a destination. That's something that we always going to be striving for. So I gave you the top three. I'm trust me when I say that there's plenty more. You know, depending on how these questions go, shit, double back and ask me again. You know, see if anything else comes back. How did you come into the truth? I came into the truth. First of all, I came to the truth. Like I said, I was 19. It was 2010. 2 weeks out, like exactly 2 weeks after my 19th birthday. And I was talking to this sister that I've been knowing since eighth grade. We've always had a crush on each other. Never dated. Um, like towards the tail end of high school, tried to talk a little bit. Um, my basketball career, which is what I was, trying to pursue. I was, destined to just be this basketball star. That was rocky. So literally, maybe like the last 2 months of school, my senior year, I kind of just disappeared on people because I was in charter school, so I wasn't even, I didn't have to get up and go to a physical class every day. So I disappeared on people from maybe about like April. Matter of fact, I would even say it was before April because for my 18th birthday, I remember I remember all my homies just kind of hit me out of nowhere and was like, "Yo, bro, like you got to do something for your 18th birthday. Like, come on, you know, regardless of what's going on, we ain't heard from you, whatever, whatever. We got to do something for your 18th birthday, whatever." So I remember. So let's say right before April, because my birthday's in April, till about October, I just, you know, disappeared on people. I was tucked away. Saying all that to say, around October, um, I was trying to get ready for basketball season that following year. I was going to this JUCO, so I started going back to the gym. Ran into a few of my partners, but also ran into this girl, boom, that I've been knowing. We start talking, and we used to always just pretty much sit around, smoke weed, and watch these Illuminati videos. And she was heavily in the church, always been that way since I met her. Parents, family, big church goers, so on and so forth. And we would sit around, we would smoke weed, watch Illuminati videos, but then turn around and start talking about God. Like, damn, these people really out here worshiping the devil and they're all of these different hidden signs and things everywhere amongst us, and we just live in such a demonic world. So from there the conversation leads us to like, yo, man, we really need to get back in church. And so she invites me to her church. We start going to church. I go to church with her, a couple of times, and then I start going with my mom and my grandma. When I go with my mom and my grandma, me and her communication dies off a little bit. And then the last time I went to church at my grandma and my mom's church, I got baptized. So after that, that's a whole nother story in itself. It got weird. Pretty much, it was apostolic church. They say you get baptized, you come out of the water, you're supposed to get the Holy Spirit, you're supposed to speak in tongues. It never happened. And kind of made me feel some way. So, as the Lord would have it, I never made it back. Um, and then just one weekend, I just hit her up trying to see, what she was on, play catch up. And she goes, "Yeah, I'm a part of or I'm the head of the youth program now, and I'm trying to reach out to one of my friends that used to do gospel rap. I want him to come and perform for the church." Um, she then turns around and goes, uh, tells me about the guy's name, and that she tell me about the guy's name because he was acting weird. She said he told her that he doesn't do gospel rap no more. He doesn't uh do that, and he really needs to talk to her. He's got some very, very important stuff to tell her. Now, mind you, the way our mind is going, it's like, what you mean he don't do gospel rap no more? Like, damn, we done lost another one because I'm still in this Christian mindset. Like, damn, we done lost another one. He's talking about he's not a Christian anymore. He doesn't do Christian rap, and it's something that he really needs to talk to us about, or talk to her about rather. She kind of reached, asked me, do I want to go with her? So I'm like, yeah. So she asked him. This is where it's so funny, man, how the spirit works. He was acting funny, and he didn't want her to bring anybody. Why? To this day, I still don't know. Um, but when she asked him, can a friend of hers come? He's like, is it a guy? She's like, yeah. He's like, is it your boyfriend? And she's like, no, not my boyfriend, just somebody that I talk to. He says, I'd feel more comfortable if he was your boyfriend. Now it's just, again, we young, we paranoid, we're little potheads. That just sounded even more weird. You're not a Christian anymore. You don't do Christian rap. You really need to talk to me. And if this guy that you want to bring was to come, you'd feel more comfortable if it was your boyfriend. We're like, yo, man, this nigga's trying to sacrifice us. He's trying to do a couple sacrifice so he can make it, and he can, go and catapult his career or whatever it is he's trying to do to a whole nother level. So as he's kind of, being hesitant, she asked me if I knew the guy. And like I said, just as the spirit works, he did not want me to come until he found out who I was. He knew, excuse me, I knew him, and he knew me. We went way back. I mean, I knew this guy more than I knew the girl. So as soon as he found out it was me, I let her know, like, yeah, I know that guy. Like, just ask him, tell him my name, he'll know. He confirms with her of who I was, asked a couple questions. Yep, that's me. Okay, cool. Bring him. Next day we met up, and man, he just sat us both down on the couch, and he stood up like he was, our parents, and we was just in trouble. And he was just asking us hella questions about the Bible. At that time, Cap didn't know anything. All I knew about the Bible was, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's all I knew. Simple and plain. And every time he would ask me a question, I would look over at her, and she wouldn't have an answer. And it was basic things like, does God love everybody? Does God hate anybody? Who is salvation for? Stuff like that. And he just thoroughly, man, I'm talking about, took his time. We was there maybe about an hour and a half, got done. And the whole time he's having me read scripture, right? He's not really having her read any. And the whole time she's like, I want to hear you talk to Pastor Adrian. Pastor Adrian was, her pastor at the time, his former pastor when he was attending the church. And he just kept saying, Pastor Adrian's not going to talk to me, because if Pastor Adrian talks to me and agrees with what I'm talking about, then he's going to have to tell his congregation this. If he tells his congregation this, then how do you think they're going to feel about it? He's like, I've already tried, and he's not hearing me. I thought that was something intriguing to me. That's something that caught my attention. I was just like, that's wow. And it doesn't make any sense. You would think that these people that's such high and holy rollers and really about this thing, that there would be, a level of attention put on someone who's kind of struggling with their faith or have questions about the text that you believe in. Um, on top of it, I was so surprised that she didn't know much about the Bible. I grew up and was taught to be a Christian, to be a believer in Christ, but I didn't really go to church like that. The only time I went to church was, you know, early on in life. So maybe from like 0 to maybe like 3 or 4. I can actually remember back to I was maybe like 2, 3 years old, literally like 2, but more so 3, 4 years old. I can remember back to that time where we would go to church. But from the time of 5 until I graduated high school, my weekends was always occupied with playing sports. So that could have easily been the reason why I did not frequent church like that. Then the times where I were free on Sundays and we did go to church, it was just kind of supporting your family, your family who is either a part of an up and coming church or they tried to start their own church, little stuff like that. And then of course Easter we would always go. But like I said, man, a lot of times we had tournaments, basketball tournaments and games. So it was always really kind of caught up and surrounded around sports. But and that's really also where I met the guy who told me about the truth. So for me not knowing the Bible, it made sense for her. You in church every Sunday. You've been that way since you was born. I don't know how you just don't know anything about this. So a lot of things are being revealed to me, all at the same time, both about how the Christian church is, and then also exposing the lies of the Christian church as well. So from that, like I said, he talked to us for about an hour and a half. She has some objections. He's like, listen, I got a class to go to. If y'all can come back tonight, I'll tell you guys who Esau is, and I'll tell you who we are. We left, and she's just like kind of tripping. I'm looking like that was wild. She goes, what did she say? She goes, you want to go back later? And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to go back later. You didn't like everything me and you've been watching on YouTube about the Illuminati and devil worshiping and all of this different type of stuff. And then he comes in here and he's telling us a lot, exposing certain things about the Bible. It's like, or not necessarily the Bible. He's showing us things about the Bible, but exposing lies about the Christian church. You don't want to go back? I say, hell yeah, I want to go back. So we ended up going back that night. Man, he broke down who Esau was, told us who we were, how we the Israelites of the Bible. And yeah, man, the rest is history from there. Funny thing is, this guy he's never done the work. He was out teaching a lot of people for sure on a one-on-one tip, but never made it out to the highways. Never made it out to the highways. I studied with him maybe about like for about a month after that day. And I haven't seen him since. That was 2010. Somebody said, will there be more captains in Sicari? I mean, I would want to say no, because, me, Chief, and Deacon kind of came up with the terms for ourselves as being the founders of Sakari. So we kind of just came up with these terms. Will there ever be another captain? I want to say no. Like there'll never ever be anybody that's going to be in my position as the number 3 in the organization. But I don't know. Maybe down the line, if somebody ranks up to that level, sure. But we haven't discussed it thus far. I'll say that. Can I throw it completely off of the table? No. But as of now, there will not be another captain in Sicari. I'll be the only, which is kind of funny. And it's so funny too, because like I didn't ask for any of this stuff, man. Even when I sat here and said, oh well, me, Chief, and Deacon come up with the terms for all of us. Chief, Chief, and Deacon came up with my term. Me and Chief came up with the term for Deacon, because he didn't even have a title. Thus, really, when Sakari first started, he didn't even really have a title. Me and Chief discussing, certain things, and how Haka at the time, which is Deacon's Hebrew name. His name is Haka. Haka Gawayam, destroyer of the Gentiles, right? So, he was just Haka, second in command. And when me and Chief would analyze and look at the things and ways that he would contribute to the camp, he was just playing the role of a deacon. So it was like, made sense, especially the way that the book of Timothy describes the role of, the bishop is the head, and then we recognize the deacon, falls right under in the order of things. So like I said, me and Chief comes up with Deacon's title, Chief and Deacon comes up with my title, and Chief pretty much established his own, as being the chief priest of Sakari. So we just kind of cut that to Chief. Then Chief got another nickname from Sonetta, the Gorilla Hebrew. And then, before that, me and Deacon would used to just call Chief Bonloya, which, we know is the son of Levi. So that's just kind of how that happened. I remember you going into this back on the Sakari building opening con. So I've actually told this how I came into the truth story before. I do plan on going over. I'm talking about my entire breakdown from start to finish because I do think that I do think it's a good story to tell. Just the way that the Lord sets up people to receive this truth and things that we had no idea was coming to us. When we look up and we say, you know, what is it that I'm doing in life? What is it that I'm a part of? What is it that I say I believe in? What is it that I stand on? I would have never thought in a million years, man, like I would be doing this shit. You know, the only things that I've ever committed myself to in life was basketball and the truth. And yeah, it's that's all I. If you really want to say all that I know, all I know in life is the Bible and basketball. That's two things that I have just dedicated my life to. Um, but the good thing about learning the truth or learning the scriptures, it kind of sets a tone and sets a foundation or a platform for you to start learning other things. So when we say the truth, it's really everything that comes with it, not only just knowing that that who the Israelites are, or that you identify as being an Israelite, knowing that you got to follow the law, statutes, commandments, applying those things, but just everything else that comes with it, everything else that's necessary to know in order to defend, in order to and protect the integrity of not only your organization but the doctrine and information you put out. So it's a lot of stuff that really goes with it, and I love the Most High for it because it's definitely an everyday fulfillment. Is definitely something that you know can be excited about, no matter what you got going on in life. No matter what you got going on in life, I have battled many. I have battled many cases of depression. Can arguably say I'm still battling them, but it's just something about this truth. It's just something about you know, this walk in life, to stand on the Bible and then to learn things, to support God, to prove God, to prove his divinity in his works. Shit. I mean, it's definitely a very, very good distraction, and it's a good vice to have. So what made you join Sakari? I did not join Sakari, as I just mentioned. I am one of the founders of Sakari. So I was around before Sakari ever existed. Um, Going back to my story of how I come into the truth, the brother that taught me introduced me to the elders of GMS. That that second meeting when I went back that night, and and he was teaching me and the sister about who we are, being the Israelites, and who our enemy is, being the Edomites, and who they are in the world today. Again, he introduced me to the videos of the elders. After uh, that, no, no, actually after the first meeting that morning, he wrote me on MySpace. This is back when I still had a MySpace. I was thoroughly against Facebook. I did not even want to use Facebook. I'm like, man, that's that new shit. I'm not with it. Um, if anybody that has kind of been around for a while, you guys know that it even took me a long enough time to get an Instagram. And I was tricked into doing that too. And I feel like, you know, to my relative that did, fuck you, because now I'm hooked on that shit, and it's hard as hell to get off. But making a long story short, he ended up writing me on MySpace and was just letting me know, like, listen, man, I had you reading all of the scriptures because, the Most High is dealing with men. The Most High is out here. We're fishing for men. We are um, out here to build these men back up because we're going to be the ones on the front line really pushing this information and really standing up for the cause and for our people. So I looked at it. I respect it. Mind you, I was not 100% on board yet. Definitely intrigued. You know, my interest was definitely sparked, but I had not, fully jumped on board yet. So even when he was telling me that, it was like, okay, I got you, but bro, I don't know nothing about the Bible. It wasn't until maybe I don't know. I think that would be a good topic to go into. Like, at what point, what was the threshold for me to cross over into like really being serious and being full-fledged sold on this truth? That I wouldn't really know. I'd have to think about that. It was so long ago and there was so much going on. But you know, he wrote me after the first meeting, told me how the Lord was dealing with men, and then after the second meeting is when, like I said, he told us about who we were, and then he introduced me to GMS. And then, like I said, it was a month after that that I would study with the brother. You know, maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. We was linking up and meeting often. Um, we was linking up and we was meeting often, and every time we would link up, we would watch at least a full GMS video. And around that time, like, GMS videos, or videos on YouTube rather, was not that long. You could not have a video up longer than 10 minutes. And you know, the elders would usually have like maybe a 4 to 6 parts. So, you know, maybe about an hour's worth of material. Be about an hour's worth of material. And from there I just started watching the elders. I remember the first day, or that night, second meeting that day, right? I went home and I was trying to find what it is that he was showing me. I remember the information. He had already sent me a list of scriptures on MySpace. He'd already sent me a list of scriptures that I could, you know, kind of study and go over. But of course, when he showed me the GMS videos, it was like, come on, like, this is wild. Again, these niggas is cussing. These niggas is not only they cursing, but they cursing people out. I'm talking about they telling people about themselves, they going in, but still everything they saying is in the Bible. It's not even like they exaggerating. It's right there, making people look stupid. So of course I wanted to go show people. I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to figure out like what, because I'm paying more attention to the video than the name of it. Um, Tried to write the brother. He was taking too long to write back. So from there, I ended up. Funny thing, the brother said, right, I can't show this to my grandmother. At the time, I tried. At the time, I did definitely try to show it to my grandma, because it was like, yo, you know, this is. Have you ever heard about stuff like this? You know, this stuff is in the Bible. Do you recognize that? And she didn't care about the information. She only cared about the manner in which they distributed the information. So, you know, but as I'm trying to go home and I'm trying to, you know, look it up, Hebrew Israelites or Israelite, Black Israelite, curse out, argument, debate, whatever. That's where you find all of the other camps. You start finding IUIC, you start finding GOCC. At that time, it was ICGJC. You start finding ICPK, things of that nature, and yeah. So that's how I came into the truth under GMS. I watched GMS for about 18 months. My bro Nagad, if you guys watch some of our old videos, you'll see the brother Nagad in there. Benjamin brother. Me and him was living together at the time, and I would always come back to the house and be like, bro, you know, you gotta, you know, did you know we was Israelites, bro? Did you know we was that? And you know, he was just always on the video game, like, bro, don't tell me about no Bible God shit, bro. Like, I don't care. I don't believe in the Bible. I don't care about none of that stuff. And it wasn't until one day I came back from the house. We had went over all of the tribes, and he goes, and I come back and I said, hey, bro, you know Jamaicans are from the tribe of Benjamin. And he's like, and he kind of like literally had the headphones on. He kind of pulled the headphones back and was like, he said, damn, like, he said, my dad is Jamaican. And I had never known. It was, you know, me and the brothers, story of our friendship is a funny one as well. Maybe tell that one day. But it just makes perfect sense. Whenever he said it, it was just like, damn, bro, that makes sense. Like, you look like a Jamaican nigga. Like, that's funny. And from there, his interest was sparked. We both, like I said, watched and studied for the next 18 months. And then I remember it was maybe like the end of November, early December of 2011, right? And we go, listen, we've been watching the elders, and the elders at the time was like, if anything, man, just do the work. Like, you ain't shit if you don't do the work. If you ain't doing the work, I don't want to hear shit from you. I don't care. You ain't shit if you ain't out here on these highways doing the work of the Most High. This is what's most important. We got to get this word out, man. So every day, I'm convicted in my spirit. My heart be racing when I'm watching these videos. I'm obsessed with this stuff. This has become my life now. I can't have a conversation with anybody about anything without bringing up the truth, without trying to find an angle to bring up the truth. I'm burning bridges, destroying relationships, all this type of stuff. Mind you, the sister that I was talking to, who was even the reason why I found this stuff, she immediately stopped talking to me when she noticed how interested I was in it. So we didn't really talk maybe like a week after that first time we linked up with the brother, and we found out about this type of stuff. Um, Me and the brother and the guy, we sat there, had a conversation with ourselves. We're convicted. We're like, listen, man, we got to do the work. We said, listen, we're gonna give ourselves about 6 months. So I said June, which, as I'm thinking back on it, was a stretch. It's like, dude, come on. But even though I felt like I was serious in that to say it, in that moment to say that, I felt serious because it was like it was a lot to still have to learn and to be prepared for, so that when you go out into the streets, you're not out here lacking, or you're not out here ill prepared or unprepared. And I said, listen, man, if by June, we don't find no camp, then we gonna have to get out here ourselves. And we just gonna have to get these breakdowns, make sure we know them, study them, practice, and we're gonna have to get out here on our own. And I I don't even think it was as early as November. I want to say it was like December, maybe even the end of December, like really kind of coming up to the turn of the year. And that's really what made me even approach the bro and say that to him, to say like, yo, we've been doing this too long. We need to actually get out here on these highways. So that's why I said 6 months, June. It wasn't as early as late November, early December. I'm telling you, it was towards the latter part of December. And I kid you not, February 1st, February 1st, 2012. Um, so we're talking about maybe within 30 days, I watching videos, normal stuff, turn around and I run into a video of Chief. He's speaking, and then there was this brother named Amashaba Allah. No, excuse me. Amashaba Allah was the brother, the GMS Dallas brother. It was a brother named Yashayaba. That's his name. It was a brother named Yashayaba who I had met through the guy that taught me. So for that month when we were studying, he had other people he was teaching, he was bringing in, and we was all kind of studying together. So I recognized that brother's face because before that, I had found a GMS San Diego page, but it was a GMS San Diego, Texas page. Never knew that there was a San Diego, Texas. Never knew. Seen it, GMS San Diego. I'll click on it. These dudes is in the desert somewhere. I'm talking about just nothing but perpetual dirt behind them. And very discouraging because I got excited. So when I found this page, GMS San Diego, I'm like, I hope this is not another Texas page. But then when I recognized the brother, I end up emailing the page. This was on a Friday night. I'll never forget it. This was a Friday evening. I emailed the page. Chief, who was running the page, did not immediately write me back, but I knew that GMS camps go out on Saturdays. So I'm looking at the background, and I know it's San Diego now because there was this advertisement. If you guys go look at our old videos, we used to do camp in front of this gate. It was like a black gate behind us, and they had this advertisement number on the window of it, the window that was behind the gate. and it had an 858 number, so I know that that's San Diego, California. And Chief didn't write me back immediately, so me knowing that GMS goes out on Saturdays, me and my son JoJo's mom, we hop up and we literally drove around San Diego damn near all day. When I tell you damn near all day, I'm talking about damn near all day. And we started on it's a street called Harbor. And so pretty much if I'm not mistaken, everywhere you go where when you're downtown it gets numbers and or letters. That's how it is for us. Um the number streets run north and south. The letter streets runs east and west. So we literally started on Harbor. So it goes Harbor, Pacific, Highway, then it goes Columbia, and then it goes, what is that right there? It goes Harbor, Pacific Highway, Columbia. It's like two other streets, Front Street, and then it goes one all the way up to shit 70th. Then it goes all the way to 70th. Downtown is pretty much from Harbor to 12th or 14th. When I tell you we went up and down them streets, all the number streets, we went up and down all the letter streets, damn near all day, and never found them. Never found them. But that night, Saturday night, Chief wrote me back. He said, "Hey, we actually go out on Sundays, and this is where we be at." And I pretty much linked up with them literally the next day, and the rest is history. And again, at that time, we was GMS San Diego. Um, if y'all want, y'all gotta go find a video where Chief explains, the situation that happened with him and Deacon regarding their membership in GMS being terminated and them being asked to leave. From there, we just all kind of huddled around and was like, "Look," Chief pretty much told it was maybe like it was me, the brother Yadai who's still around. Me and Yadai came into the camp the same day we started prospecting the same day, came into the camp the same day, and we still the only two that still left. We still the only two that still left. So me, Yadai, brother named Dabarya, the brother Yashayabu, who again I met through the brother that put both of us onto the truth. Another brother named Amawan Napash, and then Chief and Deacon. So Chief and Deacon gathered us all around, sat there, explained everything to us, and said, "Listen, y'all can either keep GMS San Diego, y'all can take the channel, I give you the password, take the signs, XYZ, and y'all can keep doing that, or y'all can rock with us, we can continue to do our thing." By that time, man, me and Yadai have been prospecting for about like 3 months. We have built really good relationships with Chief and Deacon and all the other brothers, and we all pretty much came into and came to an agreement and understand like we all gonna keep rocking with each other. I did feel a little way because it was weird. When I tell you, man, you don't just sit there and watch somebody for 2 years prospect for GMS, even though you're with certain brothers. You don't watch GMS for 2 years, prospect for 3 months. And when I tell you it was either, I want to say it was the week of that I was brought over to the other side, me and the brother you die, or the very next week. The memory itself, it really escapes me, but I wasn't GMS no more than a week or two, or two, one camp or two, because it was I come into the camp one week, either they told us the news that week, or it was the next week after that. But yeah, still GMS. Then he was like, "Hey, I've been rocking with these brothers. I know these brothers. We are all committed to doing this work. Everybody here is on fire for it, so we all just gonna rock together." And that's how, um, brothers left. That turned into us being, calling ourselves Exodus 17:15. From there, you know, there was a lot of dissension, a lot of dissension, a lot of issues that was arising from the brothers that had come, out of GMS with Chief and Deacon. And then, yeah, man, it just pretty much got down to me, Chief, Deacon, and you die. And that was really kind of like the start and the foundation of Sicari. Shortly after that, I ain't gonna say shortly after that, like all in the midst of that time, the brother Nagata I was telling y'all about, he was, you know, uh, kind of in and out. He was kind of in and out. So whenever he, got serious, he came back. He came back around. He was serious, and then we had a fifth member. So that's really like the start of Sakari right there, at least from what I remember and from my lens. But that's how I joined up with Chief and Deacon. As far as Sakari, I'm one of the founders of Sakari, along with those three brothers, me, Chief, Deacon, and Yadai. What was the first commandments that you started keeping? The dietary. Dietary was the first thing, man. I remember at the time when I came into the truth, I was living with my dad, and I remember, of course, I come home and I'm telling him and telling his girlfriend about the things that I had learned, and my dad knew the guy too. I went to elementary school with this dude, and then he also played basketball with me as well. So he played on my dad's basketball team with me. So my dad knew who the guy was. So I'm telling him like, yo, look, guess who I linked up with. And he was telling me this and the third about the Bible and that we Israelites, so yada yada yada. My dad was like, oh, okay, sound good, but he wasn't really trying to listen to it. He then goes, uh, he then goes, I'm telling him how we can't eat pork. Is we can't eat pork. Pork is forbidden. Says it in the Bible, you can't eat it. I thought that was only for Muslims. He was like, my dad was just like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. But a thing that me, my dad, and my sister had when we was growing up, we used to eat pepperonis, like sliced pepperonis, or we would get the block of pepperoni and just cut it. So he had a big ass pack of pepperonis in there. 2 hours earlier, I was just, rebuking him and telling him how he's wrong and going off for uh, eating pork and not caring what the Bible says. And I messed around and walked past him with this big ass bag of pepperonis, and he's like, "Nigga, I thought you was done eating pork." And I'm like, "I am," you know what I'm saying, with a mouth full of pepperonis, sliced pepperonis. And he's like, "Yeah, dude, that's pork." And I'm like, "You lying?" So look at the back of it. Sure enough, it's pork. Had to spit that out. So the first commandments was just really the dietary commandments, and then Passover, because like I said, I came into the truth. I came into the truth, or learned about the truth rather, in late April of 2010. Studied what to do for about a month, and then for the next 2 years, I wasn't even around anybody to be keeping high holy days. It was just more so like I'm watching and learning, watching and learning. Um, um, so around that whole time, dietary, I wasn't rocking fringes. I wasn't doing any of those things. It was just more so learning and watching and kind of, you know, being convinced really, or hoping to be convinced. Um, it wasn't until I got into the camp, the next commandment that I started to keep was the high holy days. I got in contact with Chief and them early, literally like February 1st, maybe even February 2nd, but I don't even think it was February 2nd. Don't even think it was February 2nd. Um, and then that's when I started to keep the high holidays. I'll also say that within that 2 year time period, like stop celebrating birthdays, stop celebrating Christmas, wasn't celebrating Thanksgiving, um, all that type of stuff, you know, just slowly kind of distancing myself away from all of the traditional things that we did here in America. So those was the earlier commandments that I started keeping. Um, you can contact me on Instagram, bro. Ward. on Facebook. Same name, just put a space in it. Same thing. What was the toughest camp you held before? Ugh. Tell you another story. Up until about 2017, no. Maybe like the beginning of 2018. Maybe the beginning of 2018. When I tell you, I used to show up to camp every day, man, with like butterflies, but more so kind of like anxiety. Like I've been out here talking a lot of shit to people. I've been out here rebuking a lot of people, talking big stuff. And what I mean by big stuff is it's like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about. You can't do that. I got the truth. I got the missing piece that we all need, and that's gonna work for us, and this is the only way. And I believed it for sure. But it was always still something in me, something kind of lurking in the back of my mind to say every every conversation I got into, this could be the one that would let me know what I've been doing, what I've been talking about, what I've been learning is bullshit. And it's funny that you asked me the question of what was the toughest camp I held around 2018. A lot of stuff was happening, but one of the things amongst a lot of other things, but over the course of a 4-day weekend, the summit in San Diego in 2018, one of the things that just kind of popped in my mind was like, yo, there haven't been no tough camps. Who has really been competition to this truth? You know, what has ever really happened, or who has ever really presented any facts, any information, anything that really is going to stop us from what we out here doing and what we out here teaching, or is going to deter us. And over the course of that 4-day weekend, that was one of the things that popped in my head. Like, man, it really isn't anything, and we really kind of put this up against everybody. And all of the things I had learned about the scripture, everything I had learned about the truth up to that point was, pretty thorough. It was pretty solid, man. And even from, you know, 2018, which was damn 4 years ago, shit's even gotten more, thorough. It's gotten more solid, and I'm more convinced than anything now. So there's never been a tough camp. Um, my most memorable camp, um, I would say, is the first one I ever showed up to, and then the summit in New York in 2016 in Times Square. We had a big unity camp. It was crazy. It like I remember coming back. I remember coming back from it, telling everybody like, "Yo, this is it's literally the Madison Square Garden, of the truth. If you play sports, or excuse me, if you play basketball, it's like playing at Madison Square Garden. If you ever, anybody that can understand that. If you play football, it's like playing, at I forget the Packers Stadium. Like playing at the Packers Stadium. It's like or like now it's like playing, at the Cowboy Stadium. When I tell you it was just lights everywhere. This is the big stage. This is the big show. And I got elders here that has been doing this for 30 years, multiple different camps, multiple brothers, powerful brothers. I got General Hashar to my left. I got priest priest Bonloya to my right. I'm literally right behind Elder Yakanan. Um Elder Thawam is speaking. Um, you know, Chief is right next to me. Got another brother, what's the brother? How do I forget this brother's name? How do I forget this brother name, man? Puerto Rican brother from HOI. He rock with Chief Ephraim. I'm mad I'm forgetting their name. Um, his brother Magan was there as well. So if y'all know who I'm talking about, the two Puerto Rican brothers, Magan, I know his name, and then his brother, they were there. First time I had met them, loved them brothers. It was a lot. We had Priest Kahan there. We had Elder Zabak there. Yeah, Elder Zabak. We had Elder Barak there as well. Elder Masha was there. Elder Shalimar was there. It was crazy for the cast. You watch those black movies and they say it's an all-star cast. Like we had an all-star cast under the big lights, Times Square. We rocked out to the middle of the damn night. It was amazing. That was my best camp. So um outside of that, man, there's never been no tough camp. You know what I'm saying? There's never been a situation where you really didn't ran up on somebody, or you really was involved in a conversation with somebody where it was just like, yo, this is just bad. It's looking bad. Never, never. Is there anything in particular I need to know before I start hitting the streets? Well, in the midst of real quick, before Israelites have 100% truth. Before I get your question, I had it. I had the mouse hovering over the other brother's question. I skipped it. It says, Shalom, would there be or is there a big brother mentorship for youth? Man, listen, that right there is a great question. Right now there's not. But I most certainly, when I tell you I have a deep rooted passion for something like that, um, I think that there should be. As far as Sicari is concerned, right now that there's not. And a lot of times, man, I always try to explain to people I'm able to have just kind of a one-on-one conversation with. Sakari is Sakari is something that blew up through the spirit of God. This was not planned. You see what I'm saying? The way we always saw it, we was gonna be a part of GMS. You see what I mean? So when that situation happened, where Chief and Deacon was removed, and then we went after them, and then we were just gonna be the Exodus 1713 boys here in San Diego doing the work, and then for it to blow up the way that it has, it's literally taking on a mind of its own. Not to mention, I want people to understand, I'm 30 years old, Chief's 31 years old. He just turned 31 in October. So we're talking about 10 years ago, man. We was 21, 22 years old with no blueprint in front of us. We didn't plan for any of this stuff, but now hitting 30 a decade later, kind of really being a lot more comfortable in this thing, we're trying to implement we're trying to implement a lot of stuff that we did not have coming up. Hold on real quick. We're trying to implement a lot of things that we didn't have early on. So a mentorship, man, for the youth, I think it's powerful. I definitely think it's important. I think it's something that needs to be done soon. Um, it's some of the things that I always sit here and speak about again in private. I feel like I mentioned it before on live, but it's something I speak about a lot. We need mentors. People that not somebody that you can watch online and feel like you can kind of imitate them in whatever image they give you on the internet. You know what I mean? Like right now, I'm trying my best not to curse so much. Cap has a potty mouth or something that I'm working on, but I'm trying not to curse so much. So I'm saying that to say I'm showing you guys a version of me. This is not who I am. But to have a mentor, somebody that's around you, somebody that you can kind of roll with and see how they take this truth and be able to apply it in life and to see that it's possible. I think that stuff type of stuff is important, man. Me, Chief, and Deacon had to grow up together. Me, Chief, and Deacon had to grow up in this truth. And there's a lot of things that we did, a lot of things that we said, a lot of ways that we used to look at things, a lot of ways that we used to deal with each other. Which goes back to that brotherly love thing. We had to learn all of this stuff by dealing with one another. And I think the most every day that we was able to make it through it, through the spirit, because you know, you learn a lot. Hold on real quick. I thank the Most High every day, man, that we made it through it because we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very 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 happy with what I've learned. It was difficult. It was tough, but you know, I really like that. But like I said, man, we had to learn to grow up with each other. We're still learning to grow up with a lot of things. I still sign my documents in crayon because I still do have a level of immaturity. But um, we're all growing. We're all earnestly striving to do better. It's not a situation where we're always just so content to be in one space. Um, but we do feel how we feel for a reason. And with that, we definitely try our best to help hold not only one another accountable, ourselves accountable, but we also try to hold other people accountable too. And those are the things that come with mentorship. And I always said it for myself, man. I wish that I just kind of had somebody like an elder that has been in this thing, has learned the things that I've learned, how to apply it, when to apply it, that I could just call up on the phone and just kind of have that counsel with. And you don't really have that. It's not to say that I don't have brothers to call on, but every brother that I really kind of have to call on that I look up to is, have their own life and is 3,000 miles away from me. So a mentorship program is I would say one of the number one things that's needed right now. Being able to take somebody under your wing, have somebody that is eligible and respectable enough to do that, and to be able to show these youngsters, these kids, that it's possible to apply it, and it don't make you a chump. You know what I'm saying? Applying the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High does not make you a chump. It does not make you a weenie. It doesn't make you a square. It doesn't make you uncool. It is one of the most coolest things that you can find. It is one of the most, you know, appealing things that you can find. Like it makes you the coolest. You have something that you can stand on that is firm, that allows you to be integral, that allows you to to be thought provoking, and also responsible, where you think before you do things. All of our actions has to be measured up to the law, statutes, and commandments. That's something that is real. And also, guess what? It doesn't matter about the person that you learning it from or that you watching. It's based off of your conviction and your um adherence to the text. You know, this is what the law says. No matter what you see someone do, it has everything to do with whether or not they're living up to it, and then you have to live up to it. You know, a lot of times we don't have those in place, and you watching somebody go through it and grow and to transform and to be renewed, all the while you're trying to look up to them. It's not always a good combination. So I definitely think that there needs to be a mentorship program right now that there's not. Um, Here in San Diego, man, we trying to get a school. We trying to get in San Diego. We're trying to get a school. We're trying to get so many different programs. Everybody want to call me tonight. This is actually my pops too. So one day I'm gonna bring my pops on here, man. He'll tell y'all how ill I was in basketball. But and just how I was kind of growing up. I think I'm gonna put that on the critically captive channel. But like I said, here in San Diego, man, we're trying to get this school started, and we're trying to get certain programs started so we can actually be more involved in the community rather than just being some loudmouth niggas on the damn street. So if there's anybody that want to help, want to contribute, want to donate. Ooh, why I do that? That's the wrong one. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Jwardtoj. If y'all want to help, man, go ahead, Cash App, and support and help, because those are the things that we definitely have going on. That would be most appreciated. We thank y'all because, like I said, getting more involved in the community is where we're going to be able to have that mentorship. Right now, people are starting to get more understanding of us, but it's coming from the internet. They should be more comfortable with being able to walk up to us, on the streets, and to have conversations, and also be able to listen and adhere to the things that we have to say. A lot of times people hear us, they see us, and either they hear comments from other people, or it might be just that moment they walk by and we getting on some Edomite. um you know we're definitely trying to change the perception that people have of us, and not kind of rely on them finding one of our videos on the internet and then taking the time to watch it from there. If they're able to, again, feel comfortable enough, or even have a spot where they can just, we can put it out there. If anybody needs something, anybody, we want to pretty much be a resource and a pillar in the community where people feel comfortable. And I feel like from there we'll start to see a lot more growth of Sicari in general, or just members of people in the truth, right? Knowing the truth, accepting the truth, following the truth, and then being it being a contagious thing from there. We really starting to see it, but we starting to see it on just a faint, kind of fickle level, where people like what they hear. But like I said earlier, when the sister asked me what was one of the most challenging things, we hear it, we like it, sounds good, we're willing to learn it, but that application, applying it to your life and actually living by it, and being able to tolerate the um, tribulations that come with it, and the challenges that come with it, and fight through that shit. It's hard as hell to do that shit by yourself. Mentorship, mentorship, mentorship. That's why I said I'm kind of glad that through the spirit this worked out this way. If you have not already, go check out the Critically Captive channel, subscribe to it, check out the videos, like it, because this is the type of stuff that I want to get on there and talk about. Um, because where we are to critically think and analyze and to probe, we are held captive. We, no matter what people say, we are forced to be confined in a box. Even in the midst of people trying to convince us and tell us how free and liberated we should think, then once we think liberated and freely, they criticize you for it. They never thought that we would take our liberty in the way we think, in the way we would choose to take our minds, that we would go to the truth. They never thought that. So we become captive in a way that we're able to articulate those things, um, and exercise those things. So we got to be able to do it through mentorship, being able to have somebody that people can look up to, love, respect, and follow after. And a lot of brothers in my camp have been around for over 5 years. As the years start to roll by, man, it really trips me out when I'm hearing brothers' testimony and they've been around so long. I'm like, damn, time has definitely flew by. Excuse me. Time has definitely flew by, and it's going to continue to fly by. So we got a lot of testimony. We got a lot of experience, especially here in San Diego. Going back to the other, is there any particular thing you need to know before I start hitting the streets? If you're going to hit the streets by yourself, um, I would say 5 things: who the Israelites are, who salvation is for, who Esau is, be able to prove whether or not we have to keep the law. What I say, who the Israelites are, who Esau is, whether or not we have to keep the law. Damn, I just forgot that fourth one that fast. Whether or not we have to keep the law, who salvation is for, and who the Gentiles of the New Testament, in which kind of really goes into who salvation is for, but you'll kind of understand that those things can even be different. So you got to be able to teach the people and bring our people back to the law. That's important. But then bringing them back to the law, it's like, well, why? Because you're an Israelite. So you got to be able to prove that they're an Israelite. um, you have to be able to prove who Esau is. One, because you want to be able to prepare our people for who their enemy is. Like Esau is just simply the enemy of the Israelites. So if you're teaching them that they're Israelites, you want to put them up on game as a watchman. Ezekiel the third chapter, um, bringing them the warning of again who their enemies are, who salvation is for. I think that's important, recognizing that salvation pertains to them. And then there's also, the doctrine of, well, what about the Gentiles, you know, and whether or not they are a part of those nation of people, which, will be covered in the others. But then also giving them the understanding that there are people out here that are a part of your nation that you still have to look out for and recognize that, that's kind of the great mission that we're on now. Learning that you're an Israelite is part of the battle, but then going out and being able to convince others, these people in this Gentile state of mind, that they are Israelites, you know, is most of the battle. So I would say you need to know those five things we call them in Sicari, the 5 points. Know the 5 points, then you go hit the streets. Everything else should kind of really stem from there. Why don't SD put out street vids anymore? SD is in a rebuilding stage right now. I'll tell it to you guys the same way I told the brothers in my camp. I don't think that they're ready to have these videos out. When you guys start to see Sakari San Diego street videos out, um, you know, we would I want these brothers as well as myself to be the example that you guys should see and that you guys can mimic after. It literally goes into the question of the brother I don't know if that's a brother, but the all praise to the Most High, Bella of Benjamin, to the question they asked about mentorship. Mentorship definitely is more than just somebody to call or somebody to just sit up and call your big homie. It's a representation. It's how they carry themselves, so on and so forth. So, you know, street videos are on the way, but there's definitely still some tweaks that need to be made, because when when I go back and I watch these videos, it's a lot of bad habits that I'm seeing that people can easily pick up on, and then think that that's the way in which brothers can operate. So again, if brothers and sisters can just be patient with us, can just be again patient, bear with us. All of these things are coming together in due time. We definitely want to be everything that we speak about, and we definitely want to be something where we can be the example. Somebody can just turn on our videos and say, okay, this is how I need my camp to be ran. And right now, I personally just don't feel like we're there. Close though. Close though. What was the important lesson you learned at Feast of Tabernacle with the Akim? What was the important lesson? Tina, that means you were probably there. Number one, niggas just really don't need liquor. Okay, no, this is the most important lesson that I learned. Um, if you don't trust the people that's above you, if you don't, I ain't gonna say above you, if you don't trust the people that you're under, because you got to recognize that being a part of any organization, you're going to be subject. You're going to be under someone. There's a ranking system. There is a order to things. If you do not trust the person you're going to be under or that you are under, I don't think that you should be a part of the organization. I don't think, I'm not saying ever. I'm not saying, oh, you just don't ever be a part of any of that. No, within yourself, it takes trust as a grown man to listen to another grown man, especially like I just told you, I'm 30. I'm third in command, and we have brothers in our camp that are 60 years old that have to listen to me and do the things that I tell them to do. In order to run a functional organization, there's got to be order. You got to listen to those that have rank over you. And since we're all grown and we're all coming from so many different aspects and walks of life, you got to make sure that you're prepared for that. If you don't trust them, you're not going to listen to them. You're not going to adhere to the things that they're saying, especially when you get frustrated, when you get inebriated, all of those different things. It needs to be a level of obedience, submission, and order whenever you're a part of an organization. And a lot of times people think that it's based off of a fear thing. It's not fear, it's respect. I'm not gonna fight and go out here and sit up here and shoot the one-on-one with everybody that's in my camp just to say, oh, see, I could beat your ass. So now you should submit to me. No, it's a level of respect. If I have to earn that respect, that's fine. I don't mind. I'll do the necessary things, which is what I've been doing. And people have recognized that that's how our organization has grown. I'll continue to do those things until I have earned that respect from you. But I don't want you to jump the gun just because you have such a desire to be a part of this thing with us, and then you just jump the gun, but you kind of really don't respect me much. And I think that's the situation that happened at Tabernacle, where people can get in their feelings, people can get under inebriated under the influence, and then when it's somebody that they really don't trust and they really don't have that level of respect for, that they are under, that they now have to listen to, they'll blame it on the alcohol, they'll blame it on the emotion, and it really has nothing to do with that, because you know the people that you can step to and know the people that you won't. You'll never get drunk. I've never in my life, I'm not saying that this never has ever happened, I'm saying in my life, I have never heard anybody get drunk, get emotional in their feelings, and they go up to their mom and they slap the shit out of their mom. No, nigga, that's mom. I'm drunk. I've known people to say certain things to their mom, sure, but they ain't nobody ever went and deliberately just went and combed their mama's shit back, inebriated and upset. Never. Because and you have an understanding in your mind, and your mom has that respect from you. So that would be one of the lessons that I learned. Trust in the people that's over you. You're going to have to listen to them. If you know in your mind and in your heart you're not going to listen to these people, it's going to be a problem, and it's going to stir up a grudge or anger or turn into a bigger issue. Take your time before you take that position under them, or remove yourself from that position to be under them, and then take the necessary time for them to earn that. Stepping away does not mean fuck you, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is take the necessary time that's needed for them to earn that respect, so that when you get under it, it shouldn't be a problem. That if they tell you go get some water, you go get some water. If they tell you to do 100 push-ups, you do 100 push-ups. If they tell you to do 1,000 jumper jacks, you do it. If they tell you to go run a fucking mile, you run the mile, and it should be no problem, because you understand that this is the order of the organization. This was necessary. So that was actually a good question. I appreciate that one. Did I start out as Captain Taz, or did I have a title change? Well, my name is Tazama Amath. That's my Hebrew name. Tazama means to thirst. Amath means truth, which is literally the root word for the word math, which is why people say things like numbers don't lie, right? But saying all that to say, I was not always captain, because I just told you guys a story about you know either the week of or the week after that I was even allowed to join the other side, crossover as a prospect into joining the camp. We were still GMS, so they don't even have those type of ranks in GMS. At the beginning of Sicari, yes, I've always been a captain in Sicari. Deacon could be your mentor. Deacon mentors me in a lot of things. Chief mentors me in a lot of things. Um, like I said, we all came into the truth around the same time. So as Deacon mentors me more so in um scriptural knowledge and information, as well as worldly knowledge information, because Deacon is older than me and Chief. I think Deacon is like 85, if I'm not mistaken, 1985, if I'm not mistaken. So Deacon has me and Chief by a good 5-6 years. So with a lot of things, he's definitely helps me out. He definitely mentors me. but we all came into the truth around the same time. So when I'm telling you, we grew up together, okay? Not only in the truth, but even in the world, or in a worldly sense, we all grew up together. So, you know, there's definitely things about Deacon that I look up to. Mentor, no, no, because like I said, we all are shit essentially on the same level. And again, recognize mentorship is more than just knowing what scripture to go to. It's knowing how to make decisions in a certain moment. And that just takes life experience. That just takes life experience. You know, when to hold them, when to fold them, yada yada yada. So I think as far as me, Chief and Deacon is concerned, man, like, Chief and Deacon are on the phone most of the time, with each other, but we always hop on the phone and we share things with each other. So we definitely assist and help each other out as just sincere brothers. I don't think either one of us are mentors to either of each other. We just extend that brotherly love, man. And like I said, uh, it was things that we all three of us have made it through, that have definitely made us stronger as believers and servants of the Most High, and also as brothers. The Kings do a great job edifying us. You all have your niche with teaching. All praise the Most High. I found Sakari Khan. And that's really the thing, man. We all have our niche, and we all work very, very well together. I was just telling Chief this the other day, like, whole situation with us going on, with GMS, man. And I just want to put it out, just for my channel, and where I have the platform. Like, I love the elders. I really don't have any issues with the elders. I do not get into them. I do not really speak on them. That's why I can remain in the position to love them the way that I do, because I'm not going back and forth with y'all. That's just me. So that's my position on that. But one thing I was telling Chief is that when we look at GMS, we see Tahar, and he's able to be himself. I think also that Ariam Lab is able to be himself. And what I mean by be himself is, like, you can really see their, you know, personalities, right? Gabar, he shows his personality. Excuse me, Elder Gabar, Elder Ariam Lab, Elder Tahar. They show their different type of person. I would even say Elder Rakad does as well. And then you have those that are kind of under them that are really, like, from my opinion, trying to be the next Elder Tahar, Elder Rhymelop, Elder Gabar. Not a bad thing, but at that point, where's your niche? At that point, you know, where's your flavor? Where's your perspective and your idea and how you see the truth and how you're able to apply it? Like, you don't really see it much. You kind of see people kind of following after, and that's one of the things I always try to tell brothers: do not try and be me. I am a weirdo. I'm a nut in the head. I have ways that I see things that are, I ain't gonna say not always, very rarely see eye to eye with Chief and Deacon. Deacon is a weirdo. He's a nut. He's twisted up here, and very rarely does he see things the same as me and Chief. Chief, weirdo, nut, cuckoo. You know what I'm saying? And very rarely does he see things the same as us. What you guys are able to see is where we do come together and when we do agree on a lot of things, and we're able to take it and magnify and multiply it into a wealth of knowledge. But it's so many different things that we see from our own perspective, and we challenge each other to just be better and do better. And it kind of goes into what the sister just said about, everybody having their own niche on teaching. And that's one thing I like about the decision I made of staying, because Chief is the leader. He is the number one, the head guy. We are all subject and under him, and we follow after him. We follow behind his commands and his lead. But he's never forced us. He's never criticized us. He's never, ever tried to stifle our own personal way of delivering. this truth and seeing the world, man. I appreciate him for that, man. I love that, brother. Trust me, man. We all get into it. We get into it. Did you ever think the truth would be this big 10 years ago? Uh, no. And the reason I didn't think the truth was going to be this big is because again I didn't think that the I didn't think we was going to be here this long. So no, I didn't think that the truth was going to be this big. Hell no. Hell no. Did I doubt that it could be this big? No. I just again I came in with the mindset and the understanding being pushed from the elders. We on our way up out of this thing, so you got to get it now. There is no time for later. There is no time for this. Like you don't have much time. If you don't figure this out now, you're gonna be destroyed, and your time is gonna be up. You ain't gonna have that. So that's that would be the reason why I wouldn't think, or I never thought that the truth would be this big. Um, Now that it is this big, is it tripping me out? No, but remember, the kind of it was a little small, little slither of doubt of like, damn, is this really? It's one thing to be confident in something, right? Believing in yourself. Oh yeah, I believe in myself. But once you kind of make it to a place that is outside of your imagination, it's like it is trippy, it is surreal, right? But so I definitely would say this truth has gotten to a place that that was outside of whatever I've ever envisioned it to be. But after you have conversations with enough people, man, and you start to really recognize how people are just not smart. And that's really what it comes down to. People are not what I don't want to say people are not smart. People can have a lot of knowledge and still be slow. People can have a lot of knowledge and still, deny what's accurate, what's true, and what's right. And that's kind of what I went into unknowingly. I was going to even turn that into a lesson as to how the Most High wows you. Most High wows you by exposing you to this truth, and then when you try to talk to people about like, why is it so hard for you to get it? And then you read in the scriptures and it talks about this veil, this spirit of sleep, this slumber, whatever that the Lord puts on people, and then he removes it, and you look at yourself like, damn, man, the Lord removed that from me, you know. So seeing more and more people hear to it, acknowledge it, it's powerful, it's special. Um, Seeing it get big the way that it has, it's not too bizarre, but it's like, it's astonishing a little bit. Like, damn, especially the type of people that you find out, type of people you find out watch you, find out the people that know you. Like, damn, that's crazy. You know, I grew up, I grew up watching you, and now you watch me, and that's weird. And recognize we don't get the accolades, we don't get the praise, we don't get the upliftment like people would think. So we out here just feeling like we still low time, low level regular cats. Got people that get a shine, praise, and they watching you. I think that would be more so of the trippy part. But I never gave it any thought that it would be bigger than, or that it would go past 2015. So no, 2013. But he said, "Call me mama shit back." Yeah, the channel is called Critically Captive. You'll see it. It's my picture. I got these same glasses on. It's kind of like a cartoon type picture. Critically Captive. Got a lot of information for that channel. I want to build that up too, so I can be able to go live on there. And now the signal want to bug on me. Yeah, you're welcome. For the question, man. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the questions, man. I'm gonna do this. Like I said, once we get the critically captive page, man, I might do this once a week. How do you stay disciplined when you are faced with temptation? Um, shit, I don't always stay disciplined. That's just the reality of it. And again, that's the growth. Um, and it's not saying that I'm sinning. Everybody is faced with different type of temptation. Um, a lot of my temptation is not isolating myself. It's a spirit, it's a trend, it's a thing where someone pisses you off, someone makes you mad, someone does something that's just not your cup of tea, and you just want to be like, all right, yeah, put you to the side. I'm gonna just be over here. Being able to reconcile, make amends, and be brotherly, be husbandly, be fatherly. All of those things is my temptations. And the way that I'm disciplined is just I mean integrity. Like I no matter how much I fuck up, it's like I know what I believe in. I know what I teach. So I would say this: somebody asked a question, what do you need to know in order to get out into the street? I tell you this, man, just get out there. Don't go out there with the intention to lie. If you then humble yourself down and say, man, I don't know that, but all I know is, man, I really want to just bring the attention of the people that the Israelites, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we got to keep. This is what's going to get us out of the punishment, because the punishment that we've been put in is because of a disobedience. Get out there now. Once you out there, you now have a ability. You now have a obligation to live up to the I heard talking about. And even if you ever fall short, even if you ever fuck up, even if you ever mess up, you slip, you stumble, get on it. Don't be afraid to just be like, okay, right, I messed up. And this is something that I guess I will state about the GMS situation. It was a perfect example to show just how this truth is, and brothers that walk in this truth can be. We got to get out of this pridefulness. Once I learn about it, once I start doing the work, I can't mess up. I can't do no wrong. Get out of your damn mind. You are out of your damn mind. You are out of your damn mind. Constant repetition is the path to progression. We gotta do this stuff over and over and over again in order to get good at it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna be no thing to where you're just gonna be able to it's just gonna just snap and you're just gonna do it. Oh, it's constantly trying it, failing, coming back and saying, okay, let me do better. Let me tweak the things that got me into that position of failure, and making yourself better. This is the best that we got. You know, if the brother showed up to the camp and he didn't have no fringes on, instead of him saying, well, when I get down there with the elders, then I'll put my fringes on. Instead of saying, you know what, brother, you right. I'm gonna put them on right now. And tomorrow, Lord willing, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna be more mindful. I'm gonna try to either get somebody, or I'm gonna try to get some fringes. I'm gonna try to just do better. Matter of fact, because I don't know if GMS believe in ZZs. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna go. I got a couple dollars. I'm gonna go invest in two more sets of ZZs on two more pair of my clothes, or I'm gonna put on one of my jackets that I could just keep with me. T-shirts, they go. They get worn out, they get ugly, they get dirty, whatever. You don't never approach somebody and say, here's the justification, here's the excuse as to why I am not doing it and why I will not do it. And am not doing it, we can probably work that. But when you start justifying why you will not, which is what the brother did in that moment, instead of just putting his garment on right then and there, but and not waiting until he got down there with the elders, I think that's what a problem was for me. And that's the way that I stay disciplined, is that I always recognize, like, shit, I don't want to be a damn hypocrite. Cap fucks up. Chief fucks up, Deacon fucks up, everybody fucks up. The difference between us and other people, and you guys seen the situation you seen us with the situation with the Passover. We fucked up. We came out. We said, hey, we fucked up. And guess what? We don't plan on fucking up again. We don't want to fuck up again. Fucking up is not cool. We don't like the feeling. and we don't ever want to feel that feeling again. But it happens. So staying disciplined is always sincerely staying repentive. Stay in that position to repent if you ever do anything wrong, and then from there, you learn. That's kind of where the discipline comes into play. You gonna mess up, man. You gonna mess up. Keep going. Endure until the end. Hassad is an officer. How do I deal with rejection from the family? Uh, I developed a level of security, man. Everybody has to find. Everybody has to find where your insecurity is. Don't be afraid. Like I said it the other day, man, on a class. I said, man, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to get my heart broke. A lot of times, that's the insecurity that we have. We try to run from certain things. We try to get away from it. We try to just be like, man, I don't want that feeling anymore. I don't like that feeling. And you just gotta just look, recognize, and accept that this is just something that's gonna happen. This is just a feeling that is just going to happen. You know, no way around it. So dealing with the rejection from your family is just gonna bring a feeling of like, man, it's messed up. It's a feeling of change. I've always been around my family. My family's always been close to me. Yada yada yada. Things is gonna change. We just gotta accept it, and then you become secure in who you are. You recognize that it's not what you're doing. It's not you. Don't ever feel like it's you. Be secure. Stand firmly on whatever it is that you stand firmly in whatever it is that you're teaching, that you believe, that you speak about. Be secure with that. And when you recognize that your family is just not even giving you an ear, or being respectable and listening to you, that's when you could just be okay with it. At the same time too, I'm fortunate enough to have a fairly decent family that is not going to really isolate me, you know. So that's one. Be secure. And then, I mean, two, I'm fortunate, like I said, I don't have a family that's going to isolate or like reject me for, what it is that I believe in. They're as best as they can be supportive, but just know that what you standing for, man, is something real, and it's something worth going through this tribulation, whatever the hell that comes with it. So it's security, bro. It's security. Find your insecurity, whatever it is, confront it, figure out ways to deal with it. And a lot of times, man, it just comes from just not running from the pain. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna be painful. Every day is painful. Every day is painful. Every day is anguishing. Oh God, just cry. Fuck it, cry. Deal with it. Like you're just not gonna die. You know what I'm saying? It's just not it's not the worst thing that can happen. It's a mental thing. You will get over it. And I think that's the stuff that we just kind of don't think about. We hoping to not ever have to get there in hopes that it's just gonna hurt so much that you just don't want to continue. You will get over it. You will get through it. Strengthen those insecurities. I ain't gonna lie. I want to come. I want to come back to that question. I'm gonna think more about that, brother Zephaniah. You always on here too. So one day, I'm gonna give you a better answer than the one I just gave you right now, because so much that goes into it. But like I said, the number one thing that comes to my mind, dealing with just family, your wife, your kids in general, where the scripture says, "Listen, if you love them more than you love me, you are not worthy of me." You got to be a secure individual. You got to be secure. Oh, matter of fact, let me show y'all something, right? Let me see if I can find it. Remember, told you I've been reading The Art of Seduction, right? It takes a level of seduction, not a sexual seduction. There's two types. There's a social seduction. There's a sexual seduction, right? So when you're dealing with family, when you're dealing with a family, um, our families seduce us in a way where we feel like they've convinced us to believe that we need them, not recognizing that to a degree there's a need, right? But for the most part, we want that family dynamic. We want that support from our family. We like the familiarity that comes in with our family. So when we see their rejection, it kind of haunts us, and it kind of, like I said, taps into that insecurity, and we then fight to preserve those things. And even though there's things that we know are right, we'll kind of push those things aside to kind of keep that familiarity, right? Keep those things that are familiar to us, that we're comfortable with, that we're used to. That change, things that are new, transformation, all of that. It seems scary because it's delving and diving into the realm of the unknown. You don't know where it's gonna go. You don't know what family is out there waiting for you, that you're gonna create, that you're gonna build, whatever legacy you have. The unknown is just always scary, right? So when you're dealing with this level of seduction, they utilize certain things to make you feel bad. If you lose me, you ain't gonna have nothing, or you're gonna be without, or you're gonna be lacking, or whatever. But watch this. One of the chapters is, it says, to create a need. Those who are the seducers have to create a need. So again, this is why our family makes us feel like we need them. To a degree, we do. But at this particular time, we're in history and in life, and in the fulfillment of prophecy, again, our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, says, listen, you got to deny them. These people of your own family and of your own household is going to be your foes. They're going to be your enemies. These are ones of the people that's going to work against you, right? So as important our family is, we're living in a time and a purpose of every season under heaven. We're living in a time right now where our family is more of a want than a need. What we need is our brothers and sisters that follow the will and the commandments of the Most High God. Simple and plain, right? When we find that, or I would say before we find that, there's a void. There's a void, and it's like, shit, I haven't found the next chapter here. So it's hard for me to kind of let go of what's here because I haven't found what's next. And that's usually, we don't like the interim stage. We don't like the in between where you got to be by yourself. One of the things we teach here in Sicari, we have 12 stones. One of those stones is that a soldier of God knows how to be solitary. He knows how to be by himself. Because if that's what it takes to serve the Most High, then that's what it's going to be. You're never going to allow somebody else to drag you down, right? So when you're getting into the art of seduction, one of the things that seducers do is they have to create a need for the person. And the very first sentence says that a perfectly satisfied person cannot be seduced. And satisfaction comes with security. When you're secure within yourself, there is no void. There is nothing that you're missing that somebody can then come and take advantage of and capitalize on. And where we are fulfilled and where we're satisfied should be in the Most High and in His Son, right? You're an Israelite. You have the Spirit of the Most High. You have the knowledge of the Most High. You have the faith in His Son, which is your intercessor, so that you can even have that connection back to the Most High. We should be securing those things. And let me get a scripture real quick. Um, that I always bring out. Watch this. I'm gonna finish reading the Art of Seduction in the chapter of creating a need. Then I'm gonna read this the scripture. It says, "Create a need. A perfectly satisfied person cannot be seduced. Tension and disharmony must be instilled in your target's mind, right? So this is usually things that our family, kind of instills in us, that we all got to stay together, and that any type of disharmony and tension, right, or dysfunction, it's now where the need is created, right? So it says, stir within them feelings of discontent, unhappiness with their circumstances and with themselves. The feelings of inadequacy that you create will give you a space to insinuate yourself and make them see you as the answer to their problems. So they always want to point it out. Oh, it's that stuff that you're doing, that stuff that you're into is what's messing up and disrupting this family, and they make you be the person that is the cause of the problems. You got to recognize you're not the cause of the problem. It's actually their doings and what they failed to do, which is to have sincere and honest faith in the Most High and in His Son, and know that that's the effort that you're putting forth and even trying to bring to the family. It's really, really easy. It's just how much do you believe in it? How secure are you with that, right? Because the scriptures tell us that we should. The feeling of inadequacy that you create will give you space to insinuate yourself, to make them see you as the answer to their problems. Pain and anxiety are the proper precursors to pleasure. So they're going to bring all of this pain, they're going to bring all of this anguish, they're going to bring all of this difficulty and all of this hurt as to how they with their rejection. When they reject you, those are all of the things that come. And they said it's the perfect precursor to pleasure, because now you're going to start doing things for them for you to be accepted back into it, which is your pleasurable thing. Learn to manufacture the need that you can fulfill. And again, your need is not fulfilled in your family. Your need is fulfilled in Hamashiach Yahushai. Now let's get this point. James 1:1. James, a servant of the Most High of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. That's to us. Brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. It's a joyful thing. Your family is going to tempt you. Don't go into the way which is right. Come be a part of us, what you're familiar with your family, the ones that you know. Even though we steering you in the wrong direction, come stay with us. But it says, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. Knowing this, verse 3, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Here's the point. But let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. When you do not want anything, you are perfectly satisfied. And when you are perfectly satisfied, people can't seduce you and try to fill some void that you have. And that's where our security comes in. So that would be the answer to that question. But like I said, trust me, I'm still thinking about that. Lord willing, I can come back with another answer for that too at a later time. How did I meet Hassad? I met Hassad through Chief and Deacon. They knew Hassad. I believe they met him off of the internet. I believe so. But yeah, I met Hassad years after I came into the truth and came into a camp. What shoes are you looking to buy at the moment? Ooh, shit, plenty. Yeah, plenty. I have a list. Top of my list is probably some more of these. The guy Eric High that I'll be talking about, or that you guys have heard me talk about before. He pretty much took the Jordan 1 silhouette, removed the Nike sign off of it, put a lightning bolt on it, and yeah, a few colors that they have. He has a Norfolk. He has a Norfolk State NSU rendition or edition of it. They're green and yellow, size 8.5. If you guys ever find it, please send me the link. I am looking for those very, very earnestly. If you guys just want to do some alms for Captain, I'll wear 8.5. You know, that's always good. I'm not asking, just putting it out there. What are some steps for sisters joining the truth? And this is gonna. I want to get a close up, okay, on this one. And it might even be a little bit difficult, even with the way I'm gonna say it. It might even be a little difficult to figure out, but always be mindful. For a sister coming into the truth, everything, every way of every way, everything, every perspective that you've learned being in America, throw that shit away. It does not, it will not fit with the Bible. Every way, every perspective, every idea, throw that shit away. Now, the reason why I said it's going to be difficult to even think about that is because it's like, well, damn, well, how do I know which ways I have learned from America? Ask yourself, why do I believe this? For a sister, and I'm gonna tell you this for a brother too, but I'm noticing sisters holding on to these ways of America just because it benefits you. It benefits you way more than brothers. Brothers is so quick and ready to hell yeah, fuck America. I don't care a damn about America because really the things that they allow us or that should benefit us in America, it really is nothing. And we recognize coming into the truth is it benefits us way more. Whereas with the sisters, you come in, you got to submit yourself unto a man. You got to listen to him, do what he tells you to do, and you can't go run a club. You can't shake your ass. You can't post yourself. Well, I ain't gonna say you can't post yourself, but all those different type of vain things that you see yourself doing or people around you, your friends and your family doing in the world, you always are encouraged to do the opposite. So whenever you feel strongly about something, just say, where did I get this idea from? Can I go into the Bible and show women thinking this way? Righteous women. Don't just find any woman. Okay. But can I go into the Bible and it shows this is how a woman is supposed to operate. This is how a woman is supposed to do things. These are the things that women use to justify their actions or their feelings or whatever. Do not justify yourself based off of just a feeling you have. You have that feeling because you have been influenced by the ways of America. Learn those ways and then throw them out. If you cannot go into the Bible and show, look, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be seeing. And when I'm not seeing it, or when I'm not doing it, or when somebody's not doing it, this is the way I'm supposed to feel about it. Your feelings, your thoughts, your ideas are not unique to yourself. It's something that you have developed and have been influenced to feel being in America. So when you want to come into the truth, just understand and know if you want to hold on to those feelings and be in the truth, you will be serving two masters, which the Bible tells us we cannot do. You will be serving two masters. You cannot do both. You cannot do both. You cannot do both. Man, that goes for brothers and sisters. But the sister asked a question, and I'm telling you, you cannot do both. So anytime, like I said, you have these feelings, and you just like, ooh, I don't like. Just ask yourself, like, okay, where did I get that from? If you can't pinpoint in the world where you got it from, just ask yourself, can I prove this in the Bible? Best advice I got for you. Best advice I got for you. How long did it take me to adjust to the truth? It took me a while. And like I said, it took me a while because I was by myself essentially. I would say once I got around chief and deacon, I mean, shit, pretty much immediately. You know, again, I was fortunate enough to be. I've been fortunate throughout this truth, man. I ain't gonna lie. I've been fortunate just in my life in general. I can never really complain to the Most High about anything, nor would I ever. But even if I tried, it's like, come on, man. Like Cap, you or Taz, Tazama. I'm gonna tell you guys about this whole Taz thing, man, and how that took on a life of itself. But Tazama, I don't really have much to complain about, man. The Lord has blessed me far above I could ever, ask for. I came into the truth. I had time to just be to myself and to, kind of be convinced on my own. It wasn't under no pressure, under no scrutiny or strain. And then when I did find a camp to congregate with, I came into the camp under deacon in chief. I mean, what more could you ask for? You know, they're the ones that actually taught me how to apply the things in the scriptures just to our everyday lives. So um, it took me a while simply because I was by myself. If I would have been able to come into the knowledge of the truth and just actually be a part of a camp, um, who knows? It could have been sooner, but for me, as soon as I got around chief and deacon, I was good. I was good. How did you study your first couple of years in the truth? Like, what was your routine? And did you read from Genesis to Revelation? No, I've never read from Genesis to Revelation. I tried to start at Genesis and just go all the way through. I think I made it all the way to Hosea. I think I made it all the way to Hosea until I just started bouncing around. You know, I made it all the way to Hosea until I started bouncing around. And yeah, and then you just kind of repeat yourself, or repeat your own readings over the years. But my routine was uh I'd wake up in the morning, well, afternoon, because I don't think I've woke up in the morning, since 2011. Um, I'm a night owl. I stay up all night and I sleep during the day. That is just how the situation goes. But um, I'd wake up, I'd roll a blunt, I'd go to this side little patio area, where I was staying at the time. I'd have my laptop, put a video on, smoke a blunt. I would within that time, now I'm high, so I'd probably either finish the video or something will happen in the video where to make me look something up. I'll research something, read an article, or it'll cause me to go into the scriptures and actually read. So I would do that. I would go in the house, I would eat, watch more videos, um, probably take a nap, and then I hit the gym. So I go to the gym. I probably wake up around 12, 1. Again, smoke, study, eat until about, and then go take a nap until maybe around like 7, 7:30, 8. Go to the gym, I'd work out, and then I would play basketball. And that would really be, I'd really be in the gym like 4 or 5 hours. So anywhere from 7 to midnight, or from 8 to about 1 in the morning, that's how that would be. And then I would come back home, smoke another blunt, and then just kind of study and watch videos until I dozed off. That was just my daily routine and how shit went. That was my daily routine. Um, I smoked my last blunt the night before I came to camp that Sunday, February the 2nd, 2012. Um, yep, me and my son's mother smoked a lot of blunts that night because I just knew. And I was telling her, like, listen, ain't no way in hell I'm going up here in front of these men, either high with the residue of weed or anything like that. I'm not doing that. And yeah, that was the last time I smoked some weed. So, you know, after that, after that, my my routine of studying definitely changed because, like I said, I was under the impression I've said this before. I mean, I was under the impression that when I met up with Chief and Deacon, that we were just always going to sit down. I always had my books and my notes and my pens and my highlighters ready. That we was going to sit down and study. It never went like that. We would always be out, you know, in the street, running the street, trying to do this, do that, and we were just always talking about the scripture. So that's how that ended up happening. I still used to go. I Before I would go to sleep, I would always put videos on and listen to it. But then that lasted, maybe a few years until it just stopped. So now I meditate on these scriptures day and night. So if the way that I study, I'll sit here, I'll watch something. I'm always questioning everything. I'm always trying to apply how they're either violating the truth in the scriptures, or how the scriptures and the truth is utilized to create stuff like that. How this is, found in the scriptures. And then, it'll just always just take me somewhere. And I'll do that maybe like 5, 6 times a day. I'll study it maybe like 15, 20 minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe sometimes 20. Do that maybe like 5, 6 times a day. And that's just kind of how it goes, unless I'm really onto something. Right now, I'm onto something. You guys will see soon. Thank you for that confirmation. The water cap. I have more, but I'll wait. Con. And like I said, I'm actually about to wrap. If anybody's on Clubhouse, me and Chief are about to get into a room called that ain't in the Bible. I don't know exactly who runs it. Oh, it's called Sleepless in L.A. That's the title of the room, or the club, of the 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 the, the, the club. Oh God, I couldn't think about that. Say my life. I'm gonna tell you this. That's powerful right there, man. I've been awakened by the Most High since falling off of Daniela translate. Like if 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 that could lead to brothers and sisters coming in, man, that's a beautiful thing. We recognize that the brother, his passing is not in vain. So that's powerful. How does one get their Hebrew name? I ain't gonna lie, man. People always ask me this about the Hebrew name. Hebrew names is difficult. Um, One of the brothers that is fully back in the world. This dude is back. He's back in the Christian church right now. Gave me my name. But it fit. I loved it. I am not gonna change it. I don't care. Um, it's gonna be, you're gonna get your name by inspiration. And what I mean by that is just kind of knowing yourself, learning the language, learning what words mean what, and then from there you'll be able to from there you'll be able to from there you'll be able to find a name that fits you, something that you can live up to, something that represents you in this walk. So I think that's a good point. Or a good, the best answer that I can give. Ain't even started yet. I went Genesis somewhere. I went Genesis to somewhere in the New Testament. Then I seen a video where Chief verified what I was thinking, to not force myself to read. And I started reading in the spirit. Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me. I was forcing myself to read. When I told you I read from Genesis all the way to about Hosea, I don't remember any of that stuff. I'm telling you, when I tell you I don't remember it, I don't remember any of it. So I definitely try to, be led in the spirits, because once that inspiration takes you somewhere, once the spirit takes you somewhere, it's like you kind of have a reference to go back of what to go back to. You have a reference of what moved you to go somewhere, and I felt like that was a better way to study for me. Oh man, you know what? Hey, how about Shem Yashabar throw out the water to the brother Rise of Israel, and all praise to the Most High, Bella of Judah. I did not know we were even able to receive super chats, so this is actually new to me. I wonder if this is going to go to our channel. I don't know. The water though, man. Well, I appreciate you guys. That definitely means a lot, man. Thank you guys. That's the only reason why I put the Cash App up there in the first place. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this, guys, too. If you guys want to be able to contribute and to help or to donate, we would actually rather Cash App. Why? Because YouTube is gonna take 30% of you guys' money. You know what I'm saying? If you guys don't have Cash App or any type of apps, we definitely appreciate it. Thank you. But if you can, shoot, Cash App that shit, because YouTube got their hand in it. That's why I said I didn't even know we could receive super chats. Man, I seen it. I seen the 1999. I was just like, wait. I'm so used to doing class on Fridays that I'm so used to doing class on Fridays. It didn't even cross my mind. So thank you. We appreciate you so very much. But yeah, to the point of Yo Nova, being led by the Spirit, man, definitely puts you in a better place to remember what it is that you've learned.
Here we go. Deja, what's up? Cap, what's going on, G? Shalom, man.
Shalom, what's good? Turn this down till they get ready to start. Ain't nobody even in the room right now. But yeah, man, that's trippy. Y'all praise for the Most High, man. We getting. You said Cash App started taxing this year. Shit, see, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna have to figure out a way, but I'm gonna tell you this: whatever Cash App is taxing, it ain't nowhere near YouTube. I think YouTube is hitting for 30%. My bad. You said what? You said everybody gonna be speaking Hebrew?
Everybody talking to Hebrew, my people.
Nah, for real.
Definitely got to. Definitely got to. Javon, she's Israel for sure.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry.
My bad.
Good morning.
But yeah, it says this is the first day you've been monetized. Yeah, I believe that because it was a what ended up happening? They got the they send you this code. So they sent me a code a while back, man. You know, while I was in La La Land dealing with this channel, and I had lost it. So I requested for them to send me another one, and that was like almost 2 months ago. So I kind of just said, you know what, let me go into my stuff and look for it, and through the spirit I found it. So that's why I said I didn't. But when I went to go turn on the super chat part, it said that I wasn't eligible just yet, and then they would notify me when it was. So, but again, all praise to the Most High, man. We appreciate you nonetheless. Um, however you guys feel comfortable, man, we accept it, man. Like I said, dealing with that mentorship program, dealing with I'm about to put it in right now.
I thought the Bills was gonna put it off.
It's so funny. Let me put this in there too, just so y'all know. If y'all go to the Cash App and y'all type that name in, yes, it's going to say Jonathan. Cap's first name is Jonathan. Cap's first name is Jonathan. Been following y'all brothers for about a year now. I'll tell you, it's so difficult not being able to be minded brothers to congregate with other brothers. Difficult not being able to be. Oh, to congregate. I got you. Well, you know what I'm saying? Lord willing, everybody be able to make it out to the Passover, if anything. Don't see enough of me. Listen, you guys gonna start seeing more of me. Again, we about to start this. We about to start this room right here. That ain't in the Bible. In on Clubhouse, the app called Clubhouse. Um, one of the club or the room that we're in is called Sleepless in LA. Everybody go over to the Critically Captive channel. Check it out. We're gonna have more content like this on there. You know, have a lot of Q&A, have a lot more interaction. I want to definitely hear from you guys, man, and your perspective on things that you guys see in Israel, your ideas and critique, man. We're gonna definitely put forth the critique. And even for me, even for the brother Yash, he's gonna be here tomorrow with me. You know, like I said, we just had a mix up of scheduling today. Brothers had things to do, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Appreciate you guys, man. That we give our honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God of now Yahweh. We do some name of His only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Yeah, if y'all are, if you guys are on Clubhouse, go check out, hop in the room right now. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow at about 5. We're gonna finish that Romans 9 breakdown. Shalom. Appreciate everybody. The water for the super chat. Anybody that gonna contribute and donate on Cash App, we appreciate you guys, man. Love y'all. You know, get back with us. Reach out to the main Exodus 17:15 Instagram page for the information about the Passover. All right.